Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important poem of Alexander Pope. You must be knowing about Alexander Pope. He was a famous satirist of Augustan age in England. He is widely known for his mock epic, The Rape of the Lock. But today we are going to study a very interesting and very enlightening poem of him which he wrote only at the age of 12. Alexander Pope was only 12 years old when he wrote this poem. He was a Catholic, and because of his religious belief, he was not much liked by the people he lived along with. So he goes to another place one day and he finds a village there where he was supposed to live for some days. And by seeing the village life, he realizes what actually the happy life is. He comes to this conclusion that the life that the people are living in the cities and the metros are not a happy life, but the life which is people living in the villages, in the rural areas, is really a happy life. This poem titled as Ode on Solitude. First, let me define it. Ode is basically a form of poetry writing in which a particular idea is developed for the purpose of singing. It is just longer than lyric, and it was first used in Greek. Basically, there are two kinds of ode. Pindaric ode, that was propounded by the great legendary writer of Greek, poet of Greek, Pindar, and the second one is Horatian ode. And this ode is Horatian ode, and its rhyming scheme is simply AB, AB, AB. And this poem is of 20 lines and very simple poem, but you'll see how relevant this poem today, particularly in this critical situation of corona-induced lockdown. And I think this is the solution for different kind of mental and psychological problems. So here we go, line by line. We'll try to define the poem line by line. So here you go. While attending this lecture, you must be having your book in your hand. Happy the man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound, content to breathe his native air in his own ground. It's a very genuine question. The people are progressing a lot. They are collecting a lot of money. They are earning a lot of money. Just want to have everything they desire in their life. But still the happiness is miles away from them. So the poet says, happy is the man. Then who is the happiest man? One who has got a lot of money? Or one who has got a lot of wealth, lot of estates, lot of houses, cars, bungalows? Then who is happy? If he is not happy, then who is happy? He says, a man who is living a natural life, he is happy. For example, he says, happy the man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound. He says, the person, one who wishes to have only some acres of land. And what kind of land? The land which he has got by inheritance, by his parents, the ancestral land, the fatherly lands, the paternal lands. He says the person who has only limited wishes to have only some acres of paternal lands, he is happy. And why is he happy? He says, content to breathe his native air, because he is satisfied by breathing in his own natural village, in his own native village, in his own native land. Who has just got some paternal lands in his own ground, and who is just having some trees there on his own fields, on his farmhouse, who is living a native life, who is living a rural life, a village life, who herds with milk, and who has got some livestock there, some mammals there, some animals there, those who give milk to him. He is happy. Who is filled with bread, and who has got some fields, some farms, which are full of grains, full of corns. You give him wheat, rice, corns, and so many other grains and vegetables on time to time, which he cultivates and which he grows in his own field. Whose flock supply him with attire, who is also having some sheep and goats at his home, and when they are mature, he has got some piece of wool from them, and then gets it shoed and tailored, and gets his dresses and attire ready. Means everything whatever he needs, he gets everything from his own way of life, from on his field, the native things which he has got as inheritance from his ancestors and from his forefathers. Whose flocks supply him with attire, whose trees in summer yield him shade. And even at the time of summer, the trees which he has cultivated and which he has grown up in his own field are giving the shades him in the scorching heat. He is being supplied the shade by those trees which were planted sometimes back by his ancestors, his forefathers, and today he is just being supplied. He is just being provided with the just soothing, heart soothing shade in winter fire. And the same trees also give him the dried logs for the bonfire in the winter season when he's suffering from the cold and he needs some heat. So from the same trees he gets the dried logs, he gets the woods from those trees which his forefathers had planted in the same fields which he has got as inheritance from them. Blessed who can unconcernedly find hours, days, and years slide soft away. He says the person is blessed one. He is the happy one who is least bothered about anything what's happening around the world. Blessed who can unconcernedly find hours. He is the blessed one. He is the happy one who passes his hours, his days, his weeks, his months, and his years softly, gradually, without being bothered unnecessarily. So he is the happy person. Hours, days, and years slide soft away in health of body, peace of mind, quiet by day, and who is all fit physically, who is mentally well, and whose days go silently without being disturbed by anybody else, who enjoys his loneliness, who enjoys his aloofness, who enjoys his isolation, who enjoys his solitude. Sound sleep by night, and the person who is happy, the person who is able to have sound sleep in the night, he is the happiest one. He is the happy one, because nowadays it has become a rare thing to have sound sleep in the night. You are having everything except a sound sleep in the night. So he says, happy is the person who is having a sound sleep in the night, and innocent is most displeased with meditation. Sound sleep by night, study and ease together mixed, and even who is able to study without any disturbances, who is able to study in his own study room or at his own place which he has decided to study without any outer hindrances and nuisance. Together make sweet recreation, and even he is able to do some recreation, some enjoyment by his own. He is able to enjoy himself at his own home, and innocent, and lives without any kind of showiness. He is very innocent like lamb. He is able to live, which most does please with meditation, and sometimes he is able to do meditation for the peace of his mind, for the peacefulness in his life. He is able to meditate, meditation is a kind of practice in which people focuses on some particular thing or particular idea, particular thought with a positive mindset to feel his self-being, to feel his own existence. And in a sense which most us pleased with meditation, he says all these are the qualities and the characteristics of your life, and now he again invokes and he again requests and to others people, thus let me live unseen, unknown. Very philosophical line when it shows that he is away from the all worldly pleasures and the desires, and he says that he feels like ascetic. He feeling the sense of ascetic when nothing, no worldly things matters for him, and this shows the sense of nothingness. He does not want anything from the life, anything from the people, anything from the society. He just wants to live his own life the way he wants to live. Thus let me live unseen, unknown. He says, thus the same way I want to live my own life unseen. I do not want to be seen by the other people. I do not want name and fame. Unknown, I do not want to be popularized. I do not want to be name and fame in the newspapers, in the news channels, in the books and all that. I just want to live simply. Thus unlamented let me die. And even I want to say I want to go on the final journey of my life without putting someone others to cry. I do not want anybody else to lament on my death, because I do not want to be disturbed by others, and I also do not want to disturb others, because I do not want anybody else to be disturbed because of me. So let me live, let me go on my final journey without lamenting for me. I do not want anybody to weep for me, to mourn for me, to cry for me. Thus unlamented let me die, and let me die silently, as the virtuous people go mildly away. Still from the world and not a stone tell where I live. Even the last desires the Christian people used to have at the time, those who used to have some names, they used to have an epitaph on their graves in which the description of their life used to be written. He says, even I do not want that last stone. I do not want to steal from this earth which will be installed on my grave in form of epitaph. Even that stone I do not want, which will tell my biography, which will tell about me. So these last lines here I have even mentioned particularly. This shows the greatness at the age of 12, how mature his mind was to write the poetry, that he was able to say that he does not want any kind of worldly name and fame. He just want to live lonely. He just want to live simple, without any propaganda, without any pomp and show. And even he wants to die with the same feelings, without any kind of lamentation, with any kind of name and fame. So the poem really very mature and really a guiding force like that gives a light to the readers, that how should one live his or her life. If you really want to be happy in your life, 3 main qualities you should attire in yourself. The sense of satisfaction, that you should be satisfied with everything that you have. You should have a sense of self-sufficiency, that everything you have, you should be able to think that there is sufficient, more than enough for my livelihood. And third, the sense of piety. He says that you should be able to thankful to the God for everything they have given to me. So friends, I hope you must have enjoyed this lecture. So keep on liking, sharing, commenting our YouTube channel for the upcoming videos. Please don't forget to press the bell icon for the others educational videos. Thank you very much.